Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Joe Reichel is in the studio. That means some women will be passing the window any minute and waving at Joe. Oh, you've got a camera. And if you have a question for Joe, if you need to know the show, it's called Damage Control, if you're not already familiar with it. And, of course, Joe is one of the owners of Damage Control Services. He's taking a selfie right now.
I'm not sure how to turn it on.
Is that Robin's camera?
Yeah.
Oh, you just going to leave her a photo of yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you have some do-it-yourself home fixer-upper questions, this is a good time to call them in. Joe will help you out with them. And, of course, if you need more than the help that you can provide yourself, and your brother-in-law isn't good at this stuff either, then Joe can tell you who to call, or perhaps call Joe, because that's what he does. So how you doing? Good morning. The phone number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. Not working?
I was going to take a selfie, and leave it for Robin. But
I think a selfie, you have to aim it toward yourself.
Well, I was going to, but I couldn't figure out how to turn it on.
So you aimed it at me?
Well, I was just playing. I didn't get a picture of you either.
Oh, no.
So
Robin's
without pictures of us. Poor Robin.
We're embedded in her memory.
Yeah.
I think. So how are you? Got a bunch of different shirts. You got a lot of different shirts with your name on it.
Yeah, I have. I think I'm up to 24 or 28 different work shirts.
Oh, really?
All different colors, and all of them. I think all of them, but one or two have my name on them.
Every girl's crazy about a sharp dressed man. You know that, right?
That's why I keep trying to buy. Keep buying more shirts because I keep trying.
All right, you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Good morning, Larry. It's Dale. We haven't spoken in a long time. How are you?
Hey, good, Dale. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thank you. I have some questions for your guest.
Go ahead.
First of all, good morning, and I am trying to consider pulling up my carpeting in my house without getting pneumonia or a bad asthma attack, and putting something non-toxic that doesn't give off VOCs to replace the carpeting without spending a fortune. And, I went into one store and they had no idea what I was talking about.
Right. Well, I know what you're talking about. I just cannot think of a product right now. Maybe a laminate flooring may not do the VOC, be okay for you there. That is one thing. You're talking about pulling up carpet, and there's a lot of dust and stuff that people don't realize as far as the amount of dirt and dust that collects in carpet. Even though you vacuum it regularly, you still, especially down here, we get the sand and all that gets in the carpet and continues to stay in the padding. So whenever you take that out, there's a lot to clean up, a lot that's left. I was thinking stained concrete, maybe something along that line would probably be a good option for you. But
I did do some research, and real linoleum, real cork tiles, some wood products, some engineered wood, and some laminates. You're right. There are brands that don't, put off the VOCs. But I also have to have someone come in who's sensitive to doing it in such a way that it's not going to kill me.
I'm guessing that you're have bad allergies?
Allergies, yes.
Okay. Would you consider moving out of the house for a couple days while this is done so that...
I absolutely would move out of the house.
Okay. Well,
no question about it.
I would definitely, without looking at it, I would think probably an engineered wood or a laminate wood flooring, something like that you could use would be a real good product. You wouldn't need to glue that down, so you don't have to worry about the VOCs from the glue. And it does a very nice product. Any type of product you'd have to glue down, that would be one that you'd have to. I would be concerned with the chemical off-gassing.
Right.
So,
Right. So does your company do things like that, or do I have to look elsewhere for
nope,
installers?
we do that all the time. We've got installers that we use that are on our payroll that actually do that. So, are you wanting to do several rooms or a whole house, or what are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, it depends on the budget. Depends on what's out there. Because, of course, the things that are more green and that are more air-friendly without the VOCs are more expensive.
Yes, they are more expensive. I know John or JP over at Penn Flooring. He would be able to direct you in the right direction there as far as giving you ideas, things you could use and products. He's been on the show here with us before. That would probably be a good idea to have him back on and talk specifically about this type of thing.
Yeah.
I haven't.
It hasn't come up yet. Yeah.
No,
right.
this is the first time. I mean, people have been sensitive to chemicals and whatnot before that we've worked with, and even a tile floor. Have you thought about tile?
Yes, I have. I'm not crazy about a tile, but it's supposed to be the best after stained concrete in keeping down the allergies and chemicals. Yes.
Tile
and the thing is, when you go to replace your kitchen, should people want to do that, if they're chemically sensitive, there's companies out there, but local people just don't seem to understand about it.
Well, and that is something that, unless you have a similar situation or know someone in that case, it is hard for us to. I mean, I'm not really allergic to anything. I used to be allergic to poison ivy, and I don't even get that anymore. So I don't have, I typically don't have any sneezing fits or things that, as far as that affect me that way. And even, sometimes we go into homes that, as far as molds and things like that, and it doesn't seem to bother me. I'm not hanging out there for a long period of time, but I'm not very sensitive to those type things. So it is hard for us who, unfortunately, who aren't in that situation to understand or to be completely compassionate.
Right. So your company does more than just damage control. You come in and work on renovating and other things like that.
Yes, we do. We can take care of it as far as do all of the demolition and then rebuild. There's things that we could do also. I mean, we have equipment. It's called an air scrubber. Basically, what that does is we set it up in a room and extract it to the outside, make a
seal.
Make a tunnel basically to the outside so that it could, and basically what it does is it pulls the air from the house into this machine and then puts it outside. So it gets rid of all the dust particles and things like that in the air. So a lot of times when we do a mold job or even some fire jobs, you have to use an air scrubber in order to clean the particles out of the air. Ben Hahn.
Okay, that sounds fabulous. Now, is your information listed on WOCA's website?
My contact information is there. Or you could also reach me at Joe@Damage Florida. That's my email, all spelled out, Joe@DamageFlorida.com.
Okay, I'm in the car driving to work, so that's
yes, I believe my information is on the website.
Let me look to make sure. I think it is too.
Or you could call Larry anytime, and Larry.
Yeah, you know what you do, Dale? If you go to WOCA.com and then go to the name of our show, which is AM Ocala Live, then you scroll down. There's a few green banners, and one says "Damage Control with Joe Reichel." You click on that, and it looks like it takes you to his site. Yeah, it does. It takes you to Damage Control's website, which has the phone number right on there.
great, because I do want to consult with him. My sister, who is also chemically sensitive but didn't realize it, had a company come in to pull up her carpeting on the second floor in where she lives, and she has pets, and she ended up in the hospital for 9 weeks with a chemically induced pneumonia.
Oh my.
So we have to be careful in our family, and I know there's plenty of people with multiple chemical sensitivities.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people that are. I know, my some of my family has food allergies, and that's something that's hard to understand too, because most of us eat just whatever we want. So.
Right. Well, it was good to talk to you, and I thank you for the information.
You're welcome, Dale. Thank you for calling. Look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, and Larry and Robin, I hope you guys are well.
Thank you. Same here, Dale. Good to hear from you.
All right, take care then.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, she brought something to the show that we had never talked about before.
That is, and we've had, some questions about things like that, but never anything that we've,
but the idea that
really addressed.
The in pulling up the carpet, you're going to spread around lots of things that could cause you a problem.
Right.
But even if you're not, and just having, I've often thought this too, that I eventually want to get rid of all carpets. Just put down whatever.
I agree.
Not because of allergies in my case, but just because they're kind of annoying.
Well, carpet is one of those things that, it's something that you can't really keep clean, or you have to continue to get it cleaned or get it scrubbed. So, it's a nice product for what it is.
But the throw rug or whatever you call those rugs,
right?
They're not wall to wall. They're just rugs.
Right.
You could throw it away if it got to be too bad. You could.
Pretty much.
Or take
That's
it
why they're called a throw rug, right?
Or hang it up.
You throw it where you want, and then you throw it out when you're done.
You smack it like in the old days, right? You bring it outside and smack it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But still, you think about all that dust that's in there whenever you take a rug outside and, throw a rug, take it outside and you shake it. There's a lot of dust that comes out of those that you don't even realize.
Yeah.
You don't even realize. And that's exactly what your carpet,
Yeah.
Your carpet's doing the same thing.
And your question to her about whether or not she could or would be willing to actually move out of the house for a few days, that was a good question, because I was thinking the same thing. How would you even work with that if the person is right there, and then that was the best solution? Plus, you get to live in a hotel for a few days.
Well, but here again, you've got to consider people's budgets. That's
yes.
That's all part of it too. So if she's out of her home for several days, that's
right.
Added expense.
The Hilton's a good choice, though. The
Hilton is a good choice.
Just saying.
I've got connections at several different hotels. We can take care of her.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
See, I've got a large storage shed in my backyard. It was built when the house was built, and it's going on about 23, 24 years old. It's wood on a concrete base, but it's got a stucco finish. About 5 or 6, maybe 7 years ago, I scraped a little bit here and there, and I repainted it. Looked good. I got the same problem starting up again. I'm thinking, I'd like to have your ideas on it, what you think about either going with vinyl or aluminum out there. Which would be the best for me?
I would. Are you planning on re-siding the whole thing, or just going over what's there, or what's your thought?
Well, the whole thing is stucco now with paint, and I want to do the whole shed either in vinyl or aluminum. And I can't make up my mind what I want to do.
So you're thinking about taking the stucco off of it, or just going right over the top?
Oh, I'd like to go right over it if I can.
You can. I'm saying you can without looking at it. That's the only thing. I would. That's a great question, and I don't know that I really have an opinion either way. The thing about siding, whichever you do, vinyl or aluminum siding, those have a tendency to fade. They're not necessarily meant to be painted. Although you can, it's not necessarily meant that way. It's meant to be a one-time, and it's good. I don't really like either one of them, honestly. If I'm going to put siding on something, I like to use the hardy board siding. That's a cementous siding. It lasts forever and ever. Can be repainted. It comes primed, and then you just paint it. So that's the route that I prefer to go.
Would that be more pricey than aluminum or vinyl?
It probably is. I mean, vinyl is going to be your cheapest, I believe. But I'm not real sure. Those are some pretty pink socks. I'm not real sure how that would be fastened, though. I'm not sure the best.
I'm not wearing the pink socks, by the way. Just so you know, Joe wasn't talking to me. Just so you know.
I'm not sure the best way to fasten to the stucco, though. That would be. I would have to look at it and then maybe come up with some ideas. But
you mean as far as that cement board you're talking about?
As far as whatever siding you're using, whatever you were going to go with, you'd have to make sure it's fastened right.
Yeah. There's no way you can cement that down besides nailing it, huh?
Well, I mean, if you're going through stucco, you'd have to get through the stucco. So whatever you're using has to go through the stucco and then into, I'm guessing it has plywood if it's a wood frame structure. So
the stucco itself is very thin because I had a couple spots where it was chipping off and I scraped and painted over it, and there's not much stucco there.
So you'd probably be able to just screw it on. Maybe a little pre-drill to get through the stucco, pre-drill with a masonry bit, and then into the plywood.
I'll take a look at that masonry. That sounds kind of interesting, and it seems that it would hold up pretty good.
Well, that would
down here,
and here's the thing too. I mean, with vinyl siding, anytime you use vinyl siding, a lot of times people use vinyl skirting around a mobile home. For example, I'm using that just as illustration purpose. And if you look along the home, anywhere that a lawnmower or something hits that, it'll bust it.
That's right.
A lot of times weed eaters, somebody's weed eating, you'll always see where the weed eater cuts the vinyl siding. So you got to be careful with vinyl whenever you get close to the ground if you're going to be doing any type, if you've got any type of grass around it for mowing purposes. Aluminum kind of.
Yeah, very good. I never thought of that, and that would be a problem. So maybe I'm better off going with that concrete board or whatever you call it.
That definitely would be the hardiest of the. I'm using. It's called hardy board, or hardy plank. But that would be the hardiest of all of them as far as what would last the best in the conditions. So.
Is that fairly easy to cut, or do you have to have a certain piece of equipment?
Typically, you use a diamond blade, and you use it you can cut it with a circular saw with a diamond circular saw blade. When we're doing a lot of it, we'll use a chop saw, which is just a bigger saw with a diamond blade. So I think it's a 14-inch blade.
Yeah, I think I'll give you guys a buzz. You can come out and give me an estimate on that. I think that concrete board sounds pretty good to me.
We'd be happy to take a look at doing that for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hey, you have a great day.
Okay.
Thanks for the call.
If you have a question for Joe Reichel, the phone number right now is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. So just a question about the vinyl. Does sitting in the sun, if you put vinyl siding up, eventually it's going to be up there for a while. The longer it's out in the sun, the more brittle it get, like other plastics?
Well, it's not supposed to.
But do you think it does?
I think it does.
See, everything gets old. If you're out in the sun every day.
Yeah, exactly. It's plastic.
Yeah.
It's plastic, so it's going to get more brittle. A lot of people use it. I was at a house yesterday that had caught fire, taking a look at the work that needs done, and the gable has vinyl on the gable, and the heat from that fire caused it's just melted it right off. You can see, that's like dripping almost is what it looks like. So, it's plastic, so it's susceptible to the environment, and whatever's around it. So
The Hardy board that you talk, is it heavy? Does that?
it's not light.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not light.
Yeah.
So that takes a couple of guys to work it. You can't just do that by yourself, can you?
One person can do it.
Yeah,
If two guys are working together, you can do it really fast.
a lot faster.
A lot faster. Because you can hold both ends, and
But is it flat?
it's a 1/4 inch thick.
Okay.
By,
But like people like the vinyl because of that layered look.
well, this has a layered look too.
Oh, it does?
Because, well, you step
Okay.
it. It's you
Oh,
step it.
oh, I see.
Or one right on top of the other.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lap look.
Oh, okay.
A lap.
Well, that does sound like a
siding
good
look.
idea then.
And it comes in smooth or wood grain, and some of them have a decorative edge to them.
And it fastens with a screw?
You can screw it on, or you can also use a roofing gun and nail it.
Really?
Nail it on, yeah.
So the fact that it's, we don't call it concrete board, right? Oh, it is
concrete board, yeah.
So, but a nail wouldn't shatter the concrete?
It's like a fibrous concrete.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily a hunk of concrete.
And in fact, I think
It's very flexible. I mean, if
really?
you pick it up, if one person picks it up in the middle, like if you just, they come 12 foot long. If you grab it in the middle and just pick it up, it'll break. So you've got to, kind of spread yourself out, reach both directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have stopped talking too for a moment there. When we were tearing down the old walls here, I believe some of those old walls had, because I remember lifting some of them, they were so heavy.
Possible.
And others were just simple, plain old drywall.
That could have been a plaster of some sort.
It felt
Yeah.
like concrete though.
Yeah.
It had a concrete feel to it. It was super heavy. I believe it was the ones that had the tile attached to it.
Right.
So you had tile
It
and
probably had
that.
some concrete board to it
Yeah.
in order to, as a backing.
Right where that wall is over there, that
Right.
door. That's where it was.
It had probably did as far as having a concrete backing if it had tile on it. So
Just going back to Dale's call earlier about the chemicals that are released.
Right.
I wonder how many people are experiencing the allergy because didn't she say her sister or somebody?
people, and that's the thing. People are allergic to different things. A lot of times people don't even know what they're allergic to. I mean, whether it's food or chemicals or whatever your sensitivities are, unless you're tested, you don't.
Because
don't really know.
I don't know if you remember Carol, or maybe you came on board here after Carol was no longer here. But Carol was one of the sales ladies for WOCA, and we worked at the Cascades. She would have these really bad headaches, and her doctor told her, I hope I'm not speaking out of line, but that because that was a pretty moldy place, because it was always wet and mold. And I never noticed it. Like you say, you don't notice it, but other people did.
Yeah, people are allergic to different things and have sensitivities that others don't have. So, speaking of sensitivities, the guys, one of our guys, Steve, is out. We got a phone call for a break-in.
Oh.
So we had to go out there, and the people broke a sliding glass door and a window.
And did they steal?
I'm not sure what all
Anything?
they did go through jewelry, I guess, but I think is what happened. But I'm not sure what all they got. But it was a shame, and we're going out there to look at fixing the window and the door now. So
Wow. Did they have a security system?
no.
See, again,
And we're also another job. Speaking of non-security system, I don't know why this reminded me of it, but we're doing a complete demolition of a master bathroom and then redoing it. So, complete demo.
Yeah, there's no security needed there.
No.
Unless somebody steals your
Toilet paper.
your $1,000 soap.
Well, you gotta save your toilet paper.
This was a good show.
It was good.
I appreciate the fact that we had something that we hadn't talked about before.
I might have to do some research on that.
Invite the guy back, the guy from Penn, Florida.
JP?
What's his name?
JP?
He just goes by his initials?
That's John Paul,
Oh, John Paul.
I think.
John Paul Penn?
I think.
Oh, okay. There's your song.
I like this song.
How do we get a hold of you?
You can call me directly, 352-817-6574, or email me, joe@damageflorida.com.
And that is the website, right? DamageFlorida.com?
DamageFlorida.com is our website.
All right. And if you need any of that repeated, call us. We'll be glad to do that for you. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
All right, hang in there. We'll take a little break. Fox News is coming up, and then I want to tell you about a bionic pancreas that's been invented. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Another House panel hearing underway into lost IRS emails.
The White House attorney who helped the IRS collect emails faces lawmakers this morning. Those emails are part of an enormous list of documents investigators want to see as part of an investigation into the IRS scrutiny of Tea Party groups seeking tax-exempt status.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. In Iraq, Secretary of State John